All right, problem 4.7. Millimeters, grams, and seconds. Origin is located at the left side, and to assume along this bottom edge. Yeah, it kind of shows it right there. So first thing is defining or identifying that origin. Looks like we have the tangencies, the arcs, the geometry, symmetry about the the front plane. So looking at the isometric view, front plane, this would be along the right plane. So if we draw in the front plane, lines, center lines, circles, rectangles, extrude bust, extrude cuts, fillets, and chamfers. Start with a rectangle, placing the lower right corner at the origin. Yeah, I'm not feeling the lower right when the origin is at the lower left. Okay, but well, let's go with that. We'll go with what's on the drawing. Again, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference until we get to center of mass, and then that origin is going to be calculated um, from that location. So part millimeter, front plane, sketch. We'll go and make sure that I'm doing a corner rectangle. So this puts us into the neighborhood of contour and region unless we want to um, to uh, do some trimming. And let's see, the height then is 20. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead with the 6 millimeters. We'll just go continuous arc, so pull the line away, bring it back to the origin, and then drag the tangent arc. And then that becomes 6 millimeters for the radius. To make this a 90-degree arc, we need to select the lower edge or the line and the center point, and when we make those coincident, that will give us our geometry. And then from the edge over to the end of the arc is 110. Okay, so that looks pretty good. The circles, well, we're just going to generate that region, and then we'll make some cuts. I could go ahead and put the circles in. I don't know that that's going to be really helpful at this point. So there is shape. Yeah, the circles will be fun. So interpreting it as that will line up on that edge. We're going with 22. And the center distance is going to be tangent. All right, and the advantage of adding this geometry, and I don't know so much that the circle or this particular, need to be in the dimension. I don't know that the inner circle is going to help me, but we'll put it in there, and if I need to do it as a separate, that's fine. So we do have a situation where the tangent and the edge and the tangent of the circle to the edge could potentially create zero thicknesses, but it depends on what we select for our regions. So let's go ahead and extrude this mid-plane. All right, and the overall is going to be 80. So that gets us started, and then it needs some contours to know what to do. And does that go to tangents? Yeah, I think it's going to eliminate that little scallop at the end. So that looks pretty good. I think we can go with that. Now, I have a couple of choices to finish the boss offset. So this circle piece that extends past, we're going to go extrude, go back into, and pick just the geometry for those guys. Stays in midplane, then I can go 110 as the outside. All right, so that goes all the way through. I do want to make sure that it goes all the way through because I have closed those off before. However unintentional it was, it does happen. So we can go into the sketch. We're looking at our rectangle. I want to make it to the midpoint, so I don't really need to make the rectangle coincident to that edge, and it actually helps with the selection if I'm off just a little bit. All right, 31 by 62. And fillets, let's do those as a feature fillet. So we can features, extrude cut, and we're going to go through all. And that makes the cutout. There are no internal bosses, so that's okay. That leaves my geometry for the top. So I just kind of hovered over the edge so I could identify that midpoint, and then the blue inference line gives me that extra little bit of reference. I still need to dimension it, but that's going to give me a little better of a starting point. So the outside, make sure that it's the outside since they're doing the distance. Oops, let's see, what did I grab? I caught something there, so make sure I'm getting the two circles and between the two circles. All right, the 30 is off of the back. Okay, and then the center point, even though I got close, it was more for reference. It did not apply a relation. So we're going to make that horizontal to the origin, and then we can start generating our geometry. So the first is to extrude cut. Oh, no, I guess not. I was going to say I could extrude cut, but then I'm going to have to do it again anyway. So let's extrude boss base. Make sure that it is a blind in condition. It is going up 15. And it has the geometry there, so we can allow it to generate the shape. Then we go to the extrude cut, and that can be a through all, but we need to activate the contours and regions so that I can select. And then the little mouse button had the right the checkbox on the right button, so hitting the right mouse button finishes the command. All right, so our radiuses then, I believe they said typical, so let's see, where did 3 times radius of 2, so nope, not the whole face. Make sure I'm getting just the edge. We go into the fillet, box is highlighted so I can type in the 2, and we'll go ahead and accept. All right, that looks pretty good. See what I'm missing, but the number. Well, let's go ahead and save. Number we're looking for is 135.92. So we've got 133,053. Close enough. All right, so our geometry, again, don't know where those variations come. Oh, well, that might be one. So it does, having that number does force me to go back and look at what I missed, since I did not include that fillet in the sketch. Then I need to go back and add it. So pretty sure that one's not a radius of 2. Let's see, where did, nope, no additional, all right, I guess then since it's not detailed, I'm not going to search for it till I get the actual number, but let's put in a 12 millimeter, and that looks maybe a little big. So how about a 10? All right, keep in mind these little boxes, I don't use them very often, but all right, that doesn't look terrible, but mass properties, we go to the 133,654. So not a whole lot. I think I added to it even with that. So all right, we'll keep searching for that one, but nothing's jumping out at me.